CBSE Biology, Class 10, Chapter 6, Life Processes.
Let us learn the biology chapters through questions and answers, which most of the students like. Note that PG here is for page, PR for paragraph, and questions are in yellow color, while answers in white color. State the function of the ribs and diaphragm in breathing. When we breathe in, we lift our ribs and flatten our diaphragm. As a result, the chest cavity becomes larger. Because of this, air is sucked into the lungs and fills the expanded alveoli. Conversely, when we breathe out, ribs come back to normal and diaphragm again becomes dome-shaped. As a result, the chest cavity becomes smaller. Because of this, air is expelled out of the lungs. What are alveoli? State importance of these. The blood brings carbon dioxide from the rest of the body for release into the alveoli, and the oxygen in the alveolar air is taken up by blood in the alveolar blood vessels to be transported to all the cells in the body. Thus, blood gets oxygenated in alveoli of lungs. Name the substances transported by our blood. Plasma of blood transports food, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste in dissolved form. Oxygen is carried by the red blood cells. Many other substances like salts are also transported by the blood. Which cells of blood carry oxygen and how? These cells are called red blood corpuscles or RBC that carries oxygen. The respiratory pigment is hemoglobin, which has a very high affinity towards oxygen. This pigment is present in the RBC. Write the course of blood circulation through human heart. Oxygen-rich blood from the lungs comes to the thin-walled left side upper chamber of the heart, the left atrium, through pulmonary veins. The left atrium relaxes when it is collecting blood. It then contracts while the next chamber below, the left ventricle, expands so that the blood is transferred to it. When the muscular left ventricle contracts, the blood is pumped out of the body through the main aorta. Observe the red color parts. Similarly, deoxygenated blood comes from the body to the right upper chamber, the right atrium. As the right atrium contracts, the corresponding lower chamber, the right ventricle, dilates. This transfers blood to the right ventricle, which in turn pumps it to the lungs through the pulmonary arteries for oxygenation. Observe the blue color parts. Draw the cross-section of human heart with proper labels. The upper two smaller thin-walled chambers are auricles, also called atria, singular atrium. The lower two thick-walled chambers are ventricles. There are two valves with flap-like parts that allow blood to move from atrium to ventricle, and other two valves stop backward flow, one in pulmonary artery and the other in aorta opening from left ventricle